Shortly after I got elected, we did open town hall meetings in all 6 of the town centres. And as we talked with community in an open format, definitely one of the #1 issues that people talked about was crime in their neighbourhoods.
I am going to sign the petition right now because I believe in it so strongly. There you are.
My focus is making sure that the city maintains the momentum that we have achieved over the last 9 years.
A fresh perspective. Beyond the Bridge.
I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell.
Fraser Focus.
Hello and welcome to Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective from beyond the bridge, giving the South Fraser and Fraser Valley regions a voice. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell, and on this edition, the focus will be centred around the City of Surrey municipal elections scheduled for later this month.
Later on in the show, we'll be sitting down in the studio with the top 3 mayoral candidates and asking them questions that locals provided.
In the meantime, let's review each of the candidates, starting with Linda Hepner, who resides on the current City Council.
There's a lot that we want to unveil over the next few weeks in terms of our platform, but what I wanted to say today is that we are at a crossroads. We can go forward and develop the kind of city we want to have, or we can go backwards.
The Surrey municipal election is fast approaching and locals are gearing up to vote. In the running and backed by Mayor Watts, Linda Hepner has declared her candidacy.
I would like you to continue on the path that you've been, reasonable growth, interested in the policing and how we can make that better. And other than that, I've been very pleased with Surrey First and what you guys stand for.
My focus is making sure that the city maintains the momentum that we have achieved over the last 9 years.
We love our neighborhood. We can walk up to all the amenities that are close by us.
My platform will be all around public safety and making sure that we can get the kind of transportation that we need to keep our communities connected and balance growth and jobs, creating jobs for the families.
We raise our concerns about different issues around here and she's willing to deal with it.
And we're the team that can do it because we've already done it.
Recognising past successes, Doug McCullum, another top candidate, is hoping to spend his next 4 years at the new City Hall behind us.
We recently caught up with Doug in Surrey, engulfed in his busy campaign.
I am going to sign the petition right now because I believe in it so strongly, and so I'm going to put my name down on the petition for it. And then I'll answer any questions you have. There you are.
Former Mayor of Surrey, Doug McCullum, is back in the races for candidacy after a decade with Mayor Watts at the helm. One of the key focuses is transit.
With the public safety platform that I put forward, I had a whole bunch of people that believed the same thing and wanted to run with me. So we brought 4 in and we call it Safe Surrey Coalition, and together as a team, we can address the problem in our communities.
Doug and our team and our platform is about action.
And that said, he forms a good, strong leader, an anchor for our group.
Well, it's really important for you. I mean, the buses are critical.
Because Doug understands what it takes.
We cannot have a transit service without consulting in the community.
How can somebody like me know all the ins and outs and what's going on and what the issues that are happening in Newton, say, or in in White Rock, South Surrey?
He's coming back after almost a decade, and people still know his name, so that does say a lot.
Yeah.
Have you decided on who you're going to vote for?
No, I haven't.
Voters will also be looking towards answers to one of Surrey's biggest issues, crime and safety.
As well as a main focal point for Doug McCullum, it is also a top priority for Burinder Rasodi.
Hi! Good, nice to see you. Shortly after I got elected, we did open town hall meetings in all 6 of the town centres. And as we talked with community in an open format, definitely one of the #1 issues that people talked about was crime in their neighbourhoods.
With the City of Surrey municipal elections around the corner, residents are keen to learn more about the candidates. Mayoral contender Councillor Burinder Rasodi is reaching out to the community on the Harpreet Singh Show here at Joy TV Studios.
So Burinder was focusing that there is a need for change now. Whatever has been done in the city council, it's wonderful. But now, because crime is a major issue, and we need to talk about that, and there needs to be some different plan how to tackle this issue.
our neighborhoods need intensive care. And my approaches are not mine. My approaches are developed with community, with experts that provide deliverable, measurable solutions.
Definitely looking into their campaign and their strategies and what their platforms are. We need to make sure that they're on board with the same thing that everybody else wants.
The public has spoken and they want to hear more from the candidates.
We'll be right back in studio with the City of Surrey's potential new mayor.
A fresh perspective. Beyond the bridge. Fraser Focus. A fresh perspective. Beyond the bridge. Fraser Focus.
Welcome back to Fraser Focus. With us today in studio, we have Surrey's top 3 mayoral candidates.
Leah and I had a chance to hit the streets in various areas of Surrey recently and talk to the community. We are going to be giving each of the mayoral candidates equal opportunity to voice their opinions on some of the topics that were raised. Welcome to Fraser Focus.
We're going to give you 30 seconds each. We're going to get right into it to summarize each of your platforms, starting with Linda.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. Surrey First has got a platform that's very aggressive relative to public safety, making sure our communities get connected through transportation, and to create an environment where investment and jobs are really at the forefront of making this a great city that it is.
Thank you so much. Doug, over to yourself.
Yes, the Safe Surrey Coalition has put together a platform based on public safety, transportation, fiscal responsibility, and changing the governance of Surrey to the ward system.
Thank you so much, Doug. Barinda?
Focus on Fraser is so significant as we're growing. The One Surrey team is a team that has been developed from the community and has a platform that also speaks to public safety from what we have heard from businesses and residents. But the number one most fundamental thing in terms of either economic development, and for me and my 3 kids, I hope that they don't have to cross a bridge to go to work until we get a grip on issues of public safety. We're at risk of losing a lot.
Thank you so much, Barinda.
First topic of discussion, if you want to look up here. What's your biggest concern?
It's the crime. I'm scared to walk home at night. It's a horrible neighborhood.
And I'd like to know what they're doing about the crime here.
The crime is definitely up.
You have 1 minute each to talk about crime and safety, starting with you, Doug.
Well, the Safe Surrey Coalition has been out in the public. We have 5 platforms. One, we're going to bring in 142 RCMP officers within 12 months and put them right out onto the street. We're going to double our bylaw officers from 24 to 48. We're going to put $5 million into social development to get root causes of crime. We're going to ask our public to get involved, to volunteer on bike patrols in their communities, foot patrols.
Great, thank you so much. Barinda?
The One Surrey team has a platform that's been endorsed by the longest-serving police chief, Chief Jim Sesford. It's a plan in place of 200 community safety officers that will engage business, school liaison. We believe in our plan so much that if it's not implemented by 2015, we will, all members of Surrey, One Surrey will take a 10% wage cut.
That's a great promise.
Yes.
Linda, over to yourself.
Thank you. We've got a plan in place to put in 147 new officers with arrest powers and with guns on the street so that we can strengthen our neighborhood policing and make sure that the police officers are doing preventative policing as well as responsive policing. We also have in place mental health and addictions, get to the root causes of crime, making sure that we have a secure facility that doesn't take police officer time doing social work on the street.
Great points. Next topic of discussion is
a lot of traffic in some places.
It shouldn't take me half an hour to go from here, 104 in King George, all the way up to 72nd.
Light rail might relieve some of the congestion.
It might relieve some of the congestion. Yeah, people want to go and take the rail for sure.
Transportation is the topic. Brinder, floor is yours.
Transportation, congestion, and road safety definitely top of mind. Congestion can be relieved with better planning while we work with TransLink to have more buses on the road immediately. We're proposing a pilot with a provider of light rail down 104 because it's time for us to take immediate action. We can't wait for years and years. And so what we're proposing is while we're looking at more buses now, alleviate congestion with better planning, but a pilot on the LRT line so that we can get a recognition that
it's something that will work in Surrey, but that's something that we will implement within the first year.
Thank you, Barinda. Linda, over to you.
Thank you. We have in place a plan for getting light rail in Surrey within the first 4 years. We'll be doing the L line first, which is city centre to Guildford, and then down King George Highway to Newton. That will be in place. We've passed the first hurdle at the federal government already. They just recently announced that Surrey will be, is in the next stage of the Build Canada Fund. We will also are dealing with the congestion that occurs right now through an intelligent transportation system, which is within our new brand new City Hall, and that will put 340 cameras in real time at transportation and alleviating that congestion as it happens.
Thank you so much, Linda. Doug, the topic is transportation.
Thank you. Safe Surrey Coalition will bring in more buses from TransLink, especially community buses in our fast-growing areas. We also will work very hard to get light rail in. We have committed to getting financing by the provincial and federal governments within 1 year and to start construction within 2 years. With my experience as a past TransLink chairman, where I received all the funding for the Canada line, my experience will work in the province and the federal government to get money right away. We also are going to improve the shelters around at our bus stops. We have had a lot of complaints from the public. We also are going to look at improving and put 5% of our transportation budget into improving the bike lanes throughout Surrey.
Some great ideas. Next topic.
Housing. I'm a single mother. If I could just get on that emergency list. I know there's an emergency list, but it takes way too long.
I wish the city of Surrey took more responsibility of the people that they say they care about.
The topic is social responsibility. Linda?
Thank you. Well, Surrey First believes that everyone deserves a healthy quality of life, and that includes homeless people and people struggling with mental health and addiction issues. And so what we have done is we have found that the most recent homeless count in Surrey was 403. That has maintained that number over the last 6 years, and we've got in place, our strategy is to complete a planned 450 unit supportive housing project by 2017, plus move the purpose-built Gateway shelter to within the hospital precinct for those and by the way, also protect our existing rental stock and to do an affordable housing land trust within the Surrey City Development Corporation.
Thank you. Doug, your thoughts, social responsibility.
The Safe Surrey Coalition feels a very important point, as speakers have said, and we have allocated $5 million per year, each year, until $20 million over 4 years, towards social development. That includes working with the addictions that people have, both alcohol and drugs, and also working with the mental illness that we have in our communities. With my experience over the last 6 years, I've been working the downtown east side with the largest homeless shelter in BC, the First United, and with my experience on how to do homeless shelter, we support building a new homeless shelter in Wally. We do not support moving it out into another part of Surrey to keep it where it is, build it there. It's very, very important that we get going and move very quickly in that homeless shelter.
Thank you so much. Barinda, the topic is social responsibility.
The topic of social responsibility is a very important one for the One Surrey team. While we look at supporting vulnerable communities and partnering with other levels of government, I think social responsibility is broader than that. It's also about working families who are struggling and have to use services like the food bank. It's about what's happening with early childhood development in our young people in our schools that later as teens face challenges. So I think the concept of social responsibility is not just about vulnerable people, it's also about regular families who have some significant challenges as the cost of housing. So rental stock is very important. Good rental housing is a priority for the One Surrey team, so we will encourage an increase in rental stock. So we're dealing with the issue of illegal suites, but also the challenges that working families struggle with every day.
Strong opinions here. We will be right back after the break with Fraser Focus and another topic of discussion with Surrey's top mayoral candidates.
A fresh perspective. Beyond the Bridge. Fraser Focus. fresh perspective. Beyond the Bridge. Fraser Focus.
Welcome back to Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective from Beyond the Bridge. With us today in studio, we have three of Surrey's top mayoral candidates.
Linda Hepner, Doug McCallum, and Burinder Rasodi responding to your questions in the community.
I mean, the city is booming, like we all know. Look around you, like everything is booming.
We've changed from a rural community to a city, and yet it seems as if many people living in Surrey don't understand that.
So what is your vision for Surrey? Doug, 1 minute on the clock.
I think the Safe Surrey Coalition's vision of Surrey that is quality of life for all of our families that live here, including our seniors and our youth. We need to build things to encourage people to participate and be active, especially in parks and rec. In our travels around Surrey, there's a shortage of fields, soccer fields, ice arenas, and what people see in our community is decisions that have been made, like the new City Hall, which cost $150 million. That money should have been spent to improve the quality of life of our citizens in Surrey and not into a City Hall that really has no benefit to the citizens of Surrey.
Thank you so much, Doug. Brenda, your thoughts, please?
The One Surrey team really believes that we've made a lot of progress. However, we're in jeopardy of losing that progress because of issues around public safety. And what that means in terms of our vision is a plan that can be implemented immediately, or we're going to be held accountable with a 10% wage cut. But it also means creating ease for people. Each one of the rec centers will be converted into a full service desk where you can pay your dog license or your taxes or get information at City Hall. The relocation of the City Hall has been a burden on residents in terms of the location. So we've heard loud and clear that we have a responsibility. And again, with our youth, we're looking at creating a field hockey hub to create North America's biggest field hockey facility, because we know that engaging our youth with sports makes a significant difference.
Thank you so much, Burinder. Linda, over to you.
Thank you. Well, I think the vision of what Surrey can become was evident on the tape, and that people are engaged and how sophisticated we are relative to the attraction of jobs and investment in this city. We've seen over $11 billion worth of investment. We've injected $800 million into Build Surrey programs, and we're putting in another $406 into Build Surrey Next Generation. But I think more important than that is to be able to see the sectors and the innovation that is possible with the Innovation Boulevard concept that we've developed around health and technology, extending that out into agro and food security, extending that out into clean technology, and we just recently signed an MOU on that, and advanced manufacturing. I think the opportunities for all of our young people are, with vision, enormous in this city, and I'm so proud to be part of what the future can look like.
Thank you so much, Linda. Cutting you off there almost. Well, some grand plans it looks like for the city of Surrey.
We're running out of time here on Fraser Focus, so we're just going to head into the next topic here. Taxes, a big one. Burinder.
We have to start thinking like a taxpayer. I have certainly learned a lot on my term on council and think that we need to do things differently. I think we need to hold the line on taxes, except for the cost of living increase, because with a growing city, we are responsible for providing services like public safety and recreational facilities for youth. But I think definitely Surrey doesn't have a money issue. We have a significant amount of revenue. We've had a spending issue.
Thank you so much, Burinder. Linda, over to you. Taxes.
The C.D. Howe Institute has given us an A in fiscal management. So our commitment has been that we would maintain the tax rate at the cost of living, which we have done for the last several years. And that would be my intention, because I think that it's really important that we make sure, in terms of investment and in terms of our residents, to make sure that our taxes are low and that we maintain that momentum that we've gotten and the reputation reputation we've gotten now across the country for the lowest taxes in the region and the second lowest business taxes in the region.
Thank you so much, Linda. We're talking about taxes here. Doug?
The people in Surrey, the residents of Surrey, feel that the city of Surrey is out of control in spending things like the new city hall, $150 million, pumping a lot of money and land into the Surrey Development Corporation, money-losing opposition, in fact, owes the city $70 million. Those type of spending decisions our citizens are upset with. We're going to bring fiscal responsibility back to the city. We're going to freeze property taxes for 2 years, and we're going to reduce the overall city's budget by 3%.
Thank you so much, Doug.
So now we're going to take a moment. Closing statements, 30 seconds each, starting with you, Linda.
Thank you. Well, I think this election is going to bring Surrey to a crossroads. We've seen public safety under a former mayor, and the worst record in the entire country. We've seen public safety under the chairmanship of Councillor Rasodi. No new ideas there. I am telling you, this is the crossroads, and we have got to continue the momentum for the residents of this city.
Thank you. You're going to have to jump in there. Doug, over to you. Closing statements.
Yeah, the Safe Surrey Coalition wants to improve the quality of life for all of our citizens. We're going to make changes, actions as soon as we get elected in public safety and transportation, in fiscal responsibility and the governance of Surrey as far as wards are concerned. We will start acting the day after we get elected. This is what our citizens have said to us, and this is what we intend to do.
Thank you so much. Berinda, closing statements, please.
Again, hoping that everybody will engage in the electoral process on November 15th and choose a team. One Surrey comes from business and local activists who have given much of their years to service to Surrey in very different ways. They feel it's time to step up and make some changes, a new way of doing things. We need evidence-based crime program, and we're willing to deliver that.
And that's it. Thank you very much for coming down for this special edition of Fraser Focus.
Voting for the City of Surrey municipal elections takes place on November the 15th.
We'll be back again soon on Joy TV with another edition of Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective from beyond the bridge. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell. Thanks for watching.